Varric and his life lessons. I asked him how we were supposed to stop Solas, and he gave me this. Take a long, hard look at it, kid. It'll always show the face of a hero who can get it done. Honestly, my scars are pretty good. They add character, and you should see the other guy. The unarmed commander I took this from thought occupying Treviso was the same as owning it. I showed him how wrong he was. Freed a bunch of prisoners that night, including Varric. That's also the night the Crows kicked me out of Antiva for carrying out unauthorized operations. Still can't believe they didn't back me. We're the Crows. Killing targets is what we do. The ever-turning orb. My final training project as an apprentice. I spent months finding the precise balance of energy flows to make the enchantment permanent. Amazed this thing still works, seeing how many times I messed up the magic and broke something. But I got there eventually.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
Hello, Dreadwolf.
But perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. Perhaps nothing escaped as you stopped me from... what was it? Covering the world with demons?
I'm not here to debate whether what you said was accurate.
But to be clear, it was accurate.
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to. If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Algernon and Gillenane.
I stopped you, didn't I?
You disrupted the ritual.
Yeah, I did. Even though I'm nowhere near as powerful as you.
Your plan is to tell me how powerful you aren't?
Back in the Crows, I had to deal with the Antam invasion. One night, I saw a unit getting ready to transport prisoners to another city. It was way too large for us to hit.
But you did so anyway, using unconventional tactics to confuse the Antam and free the prisoners.
How'd you know that?
You helped Varric pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that powerful opposition doesn't frighten me. I find a way to get the job done, whatever it takes.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanuris. The elven gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
The Blight didn't escape with the gods?
Algernon and Gillenane escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the Blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at that village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
I don't understand. Algernon and Gillenane were elves like you, right? Why would they want to blight the world?
It is my fault. As the Dread Wolf, I was a thorn in their side. When my efforts weakened their grasp on the elven people, they grew frustrated, then desperate.
And turned to the Blight.
Once the corruption took hold of them, they were blind to its horror. It was just another source of power for them. Now they would blight the world without hesitation, and call us backward and foolish for opposing them.
Then we shut down whatever they need to do to free the Blight.
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My Lyrium dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the Blight is the first. What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
You think they want the elves back? I don't think the elven people will bend a knee to blighted murderous monsters.
Agreed. Elganan and Gillenane care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power. Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Elganan and Gillenane.
I came here for specifics, not fortune-telling.
I would tell you more were I not currently imprisoned thanks to your actions.
Fine. I'll go kick the trees and see what falls out.
The Veravas, the lighthouse Soluvian, can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes, I suppose we will. And when you speak with Varric, please tell him that I regret what happened.
So Solas told the truth about the gods.
You heard? It's bad, Varric. If you'd seen Demeter's crossing...
The team needs to act fast. And it can't do that with me leading from a bed. You've got to take point on this.
I'll get it done.
I never doubted it.
Harding might.
Rook, when I put this team together, what did I look for? A detective to find the Dreadwolf, and a scout to get us the lay of the land. Exactly the people he'd expect me to recruit. Disciplined, predictable. And then there's you. Remember when we first met, kid? I watched you pick apart an entire Antam patrol in Treviso. They outnumbered you 20 to 1.
They were overconfident I took advantage.
Which no one else did. Crows didn't appreciate the heat it brought down, but you've got a knack, kid.
For what?
Finding a way through the wildest shit I've ever seen. With a plan that no one expects. On the best day of his life, Solas wouldn't see you coming, Rook. And don't worry. I'll still be here to talk if you need me.
There is something. Did Nev tell you about me talking to Solas in the Fade?
I had some good arguments with Chuckles back in the day. I can't imagine being stuck with him in my head. But how are you feeling about it?
Your old friend is kind of an asshole, Varric.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall while the two of you get into it. Solas fought a rebellion against Elganan and Gillenane. He didn't want to be a god. But he's also a lot older and more powerful than any of us. He looks at us like we're toddlers.
So how do I deal with him?
Act like you're as smart as he is, and he'll be insufferable. Show him you respect his age and experience, and he'll remind you he's just a man. Honestly, pick whichever of those pisses you off less.
He also asked me to tell you that he regrets what happened. Hurting you, I mean.
Chuckles is sentimental. He could burn the world down, and the thing that would make him cry is a single flower with blackened petals.
Demeter's crossing was awful. While we were there, we found one survivor, the mayor.
You left him to fend for himself.
Not everyone was happy about my decision. We're just starting out, and I'm already losing their trust.
The key to earning the team's trust isn't to only make decisions everyone agrees with. It's showing the team that they can tell you whatever's on their mind, even if they think you're full of crap. And know you'll listen.
I'll let you get some rest.
You're gonna be fine, Rook. Hey, one last thing before you go. I've been racking my brain thinking of contacts who might help us with these gods.
You got any ideas?
Nothing. But being a leader isn't about having all the answers yourself. It's about knowing who does. Nev has connections to a whole world that Harding and I barely know. Might be worth talking to her.
Will do. Thanks, Varric.
Anytime.
Hey, Nev. Hi, Wisps.
Yeah, they're still here. But you're here for leads. You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look, if we can get anywhere but Arlathan.
Valara's working on it. What have you got?
Let's start with the angles we know. The gods are corrupt magic personified. Who do we hire to fight that? First, the Antivan Crows. We've got you. But if one assassin's good,
Why not two? You have someone in mind?
your most feared mage killer, the Demon of Virantium.
The demon's a legend. I've always wanted to meet him.
Happy to help. The demon got his nickname taking out blood mages and Venatori. There's been fewer stories in recent years, but your bosses would know.
The Talons? They're gonna give me an earful.
If you want to look elsewhere.
I'll set up a meeting. What else?
A trip home.
Back to Minrathous.
Capital city and heart of Tevinter. An empire of mages that knows a thing or two about corrupt magic.
Tevinter Authority.
Won't help and can't be trusted, which is why we talk to the Shadow Dragons. They're a resistance group that fights slavers, blood magic, and imperial corruption. They've got eyes and ears everywhere, including mine. If the gods enter the Empire, we might get something. Besides, I owe them an update.
Are they all mages?
Tevinter might prize its mages, but the Shadows accept anyone. We've all got a stake in the cause.
These people sound great. I mean, if they're anything like you.
No one's as good as they seem. But they try.
So we talk to the Crows in Antiva and the Shadow Dragons in Minrathous.
I wouldn't mind checking in on my neighborhood either. If Balara's ready for us.
Yeah. Should check how things are going.
Almost there. I just have to... Shit! Sorry.
Can I help?
No, I've got it. Mostly. Mirrors are funny things, aren't they? Reflections. They distort reality, no matter what you try. And there's the trick. Control that distortion. There you have it.
What is that place?
If I had to guess, it's the Fade. Another part of it, I mean.
Didn't Morrigan say this Alluvian could go anywhere? Didn't think that meant elsewhere in the Fade.
She called it the Vir of Us, freedom of ways. I wonder...
If you have an idea what that place is, Balara, share it. We don't have time to waste.
Some of the older texts talk about a place in the Fade where all the Alluvians meet. A crossroads where you could travel across all of Thedas in just minutes.
Right. We saw something similar when we were chasing Solas. I wonder if it's the same.
It is alike, and it is not.
I've had enough surprises today, Spirit. Tread carefully.
The wolf's fang. You carry it now. Old paths. A new journey. Through there. I will wait.
Well, can't tell if that's a trap or not. But we're short on options. One way to find out.
And it didn't feel dangerous, you know? Almost more... sad.
Just because something's sad doesn't mean it isn't dangerous.
I can think of an example or two that proves that.
And we still don't know what this Alluvian's gonna do. One of us should probably stay behind in case it closes.
Good point.
Just tell us when you're ready to go, Rook, and then we can figure out what's going on.